I am Iulia. Welcome to Open Hearts, the podcast. I believe that one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is compassion. Allow yourself to fail. Allow yourself to win, whilst trusting the timing of your journey. Sometimes we aren't ready to show up the way we would have liked to, and that's alright too. Be gentle and show yourself compassion in this process. In the last few episodes of Open Hearts, we have shared topics such as boundaries, how to build a healthy self-love system, and in the last episode, Marta, she's sharing tips for a journey into the self-discovery. What we are trying to do through this bundle of episodes, ultimately, is to create a guide for us for becoming a better version of ourselves, to take our power back and feel more confident, to assert ourselves more, and to improve the relationships we have with ourselves and with the people around us. In today's episode, what I would like to share with you, it's 7 tips to stop being a people pleaser. And even if you believe that you might not be a people pleaser, that's fine. There are still insights that you can take from this episode, and I believe somehow in different percentages we may all be a little bit people pleasing, because sometimes there's a fine line into being a people pleaser and showing up with kindness, empathy, and selflessness. So I think one of the biggest challenges for myself in this process would be this fine line into showing up in a gentle and kind way to the people in my life, and yet at the same time to put my own needs first and to take care of my own set of values. So what we will do through this episode, we will look at describing the patterns, the behaviors, and the characteristics of people pleasers, and what are the signs of being one. And then in the second part, we will look at some tips to liberate ourselves from this kind of patterns and behaviors. A people pleaser is someone who tries hard to make other people happy. They will often go out of their way to please someone, even if it means taking their own valuable time or resources away from them. People pleasers often act the way they do because of their insecurities and lack of self-esteem. So the symptoms of this kind of behavior has a deeper kind of issue at the basis. This eagerness to please stems from self-worth issues, lack of confidence. In the pursuit of saying yes to everything asked of them, they are hoping to be accepted and liked. The reasons behind this kind of behavior, it can be diverse, but one of them can be a history of ill treatment from some people in their lives, whether it's from childhood or relationships. And because of this kind of experiences, they develop a way to cope and to resist to difficult situations. And this way they try to please the people who mistreated them. And over time, without even realizing, for them, people-pleasing becomes a way of life, a way of getting across the experiences and the interactions. There seems to be a confusion between pleasing people with kindness. However, people-pleasing can be a serious problem, and it's a habit that it takes time to break. So we will look at 10 signs that you may be trying too hard to please everyone. So if you will tend to answer yes to some of the signs listed here, it might mean that you fall under this typology, under this spectrum. But however, don't be hard on yourself if you find yourself saying yes. We are in a journey of growth and searching for ourselves, and taking this step into identifying if you fall under this spectrum, it's already a very good step, because slowly we can take our power back, and then we'll look at some solutions. So some signs are that you pretend to agree with everyone. You feel responsible for how other people feel. You apologize often. You feel burdened by the things you have to do. And just remember, you're in charge of how you spend your time. But if you are a people pleaser, there's a good chance your schedule is filled with activities that you think other people want you to do. So have a look at your schedule. How does it look like? Are the activities in your schedule sparkling any sense of joy and light? Or is it more like a burden? And if it is more like a burden, start saying no to some of the activities you're required to participate in. Another sign of being a people pleaser is the fact that you cannot say no. You feel uncomfortable if someone is angry at you. You act like the people around you. And this is quite a strong sign. And it's quite unhealthy, because it's normal for other people to bring out different sides of our personality. But it looks like people pleasers often sabotage their own goals. They engage in self-destructive behavior if they think it will help others feel more comfortable in social situations, which is literally not fine at all. And also, like I said, it's normal for other people to bring out different sides of our personalities. But we cannot change our personality if we meet 10 people throughout the week and each of them are very different. We cannot show up differently for each of them. So we should feel comfortable to be in our own shoes and not change and be and act like the people around us. Another sign of people pleasers is the fact that you need praise to feel good. You go to great lengths to avoid conflict. And then lastly, you don't admit when your feelings are hurt. And this is quite detrimental action as well, because if you don't admit when you are feeling hurt, you cannot form authentic relationships with people unless you are willing to speak up and say what your feelings are and when you are hurt. Denying that you're angry, sad, embarrassed, or disappointed, even when you are emotionally wounded, keeps a relationship superficial. So you're not able to go into the depths of the relationship if you're not willing to share when your feelings are hurt. So these were the signs to identify if you fall into this typology of people, pleasing others and not daring to say no and putting other people's needs first and looking for validation in others. The good part is that you can break free from these patterns, and you can start very small by a simple habit of saying no to something very small. Like express your opinion about something very simple, or take a stand for something you believe in. Each step you take each day will help you gain more confidence in your ability to be yourself. So now I will share the 7 tips I have for today into breaking free from people pleasing. As a number 1, we have to realize that we have a choice. So set your priorities straight. People pleasers often feel like they have to say yes when someone asks for their help. However, remember that you always have a choice to say no. Knowing your priorities and values helps you put the brakes on people pleasing. You know when you feel comfortable saying no or saying yes. As a tip number 2, stop and reflect. So each time someone is asking something of you, you can kindly say you need some time to reflect, to be able to see if you will be able to help and show up. There's nothing wrong with that. And if they need an immediate answer, you can simply say no, dare to say no, and then later on, if you figure out and your schedule is cleared up, you can come back to them and say that you actually can help. But at least there's no disappointment if you straight away said no. And if you say yes, you can set a time limit. If you do agree to help out, you can limit your time to a frame. Let the person know that you are available, for instance, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. As a tip number 3, you can create a mantra, and it doesn't even have to be something very long or complicated. It can be as simple as a visual big no flashing when a certain friend who can ask sometimes too much of you approaches you. So just visualize this big no flashing. You are allowed to say no, and create this mantra. And as simple as it seems, it gives you so much power and so much right and assertiveness. As a number 4, once you're starting to assert yourself and to say what you need to say and put your needs first, don't give a bunch of excuses. It's tempting to want to defend your decision to say no to someone so they understand your reasoning, but there's no reason for you to explain yourself. You don't owe anything to anybody, and saying no has its own benefits, and you are a person that is entitled to your own time. You need to rest, you need to rejuvenate, and then you can show up for the people you want in a better way. So this can be an opportunity to bring value into your life. As a number 5, consider who you want to have your time. Who do you want to give your time? Prioritize. Is it your parents that you want to help? Is it a friend from college? Just look at who you can help and who you can show up for, because you won't be able to show up for everyone, so you have to prioritize the people that matter the most for you as well. As a number 6, you can start keeping a confidence file. A confidence file where you use positive self-talk. My values are more important than saying yes in this situation. And as many people pleasers tend to focus on what went wrong, you can counteract this tendency by keeping a journal with positive affirmations and positive memories of times when you handled the situation well. A situation where you were assertive or you didn't apologize. And you might be surprised that you are starting to respond more and more confidently. So yes, keep a file with positive and praising emails as well, cards, or anything else that is positive and that can boost your self-esteem. So this will be your confidence file, and you can add to it each day, each week, each month, so it can grow, and along with it, your confidence can grow. As a last tip, it's to realize and to accept that you cannot be everything to everyone. So as a people pleaser, you might want to make everyone happy. And while you might be able to make some people temporarily happy, it doesn't really work long term. And you might as well get hurt in the process when you think it's your responsibility the way the other people feel like. You will never be able to reach your goals if you are all the time trying to be all things to all people. So you have to focus on your goals as well, and you have to focus on prioritizing and on choosing the activities, the people, the timelines that you want to show up for. Look at your schedule. How does it look like? What is a burden? What is a joy? What kind of choices are you making for yourself? You are the master of your fate. So you are the one who is creating the life you're having right now. You are the one choosing to spend the time the way you are choosing it. So if there's little areas where you can improve that, why not? And I would like to share with you a little poem I wrote many years ago as I was going through the journey of discovery and also asserting myself and trying to find my own place and to stand for my own needs and for my own personality. And it goes like this. I gave away my seat. I gave it to him. I gave it to her. I gave it to everyone else except me. But today, I choose to reserve the seat for myself. It feels good when you start choosing yourself. I really hope you found this episode helpful. I hope the information I have shared can allow you to experience new ways of asserting yourself and to take care of your own needs without feeling guilty, without feeling frustrated. You deserve to show up for yourself. You deserve to put your needs first, to value your time, to prioritize. When the world tells you to shrink, expand. Thank you so much for listening to Open Hearts. I hope you will share this episode with your dear friends and family and rate us with a 5-star on Apple Podcast. I'm so grateful to have you here, and as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye!